Well, as we can see, everyone is here. We should get started. Hello and good evening to everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We all have heard about different programming languages, uh, and many of us even know a few of the languages, right? Java, which is also a programming language, is one of the most popular and widely used languages that helps us build mobile applications, web applications, gaming applications, and many more. Well, on today's session, we are going to learn the fundamentals of Java. We have Melinda and Kalinga today, and they will further take on the sessions to make you understand things in more simpler way. Make sure you people wait till the end, as we will have a rapid fire round as well at the end. And top five performers will be awarded digital badges from GDSC ITER. Now, I would like Melinda and Kalinga to take over the session further.
Good evening, everyone. This is Milind here. My fellow friend Kalinga is facing some technical issues. His audio is not coming. So, right now, I'll be starting the session. So, is my screen visible to everyone? Can you guys see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Anyone can? Yeah. So, today we are starting with the language called Java. And what we know about programming is we need to have a language. Then we code something in a particular language, and when we run that code, something happens. Slowly we'll learn what do we code and what is that something which happens. So for our session, we have selected the language Java. It is one of the most widely used languages in this world. So we'll learn Java in this coding session. So what is Java? So Java is a programming language which is the most widely used programming language in this world right now. Why is it the
Hello.
most widely used programming language? Hello, Kalinga,
Uh,
you here?
am I audible?
Yeah, now you're audible. You can take on from here.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Is my screen visible? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Is the PPT visible?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hello, everyone. My name is Kalinga Abhishek, and I'm currently pursuing BTech from ITER, and I'm the GDSC coding co-lead. And so, today we'll learn about what is Java. So, today we will only learn the basics of Java. We will not go very much deep into programming and all. We'll just learn the basics about it. So, so these are the topics we will cover today: introduction of Java, history of Java, what is JDK, JRE, JVM, what are the applications and its features, and how to install Java. We will also tell you, and uh, how to install Eclipse and what are Java variables and data types. We will also tell you. So for today's session, Milind and I, the facilitators. So let's start. So what is Java? As you can see here, it's written Java is a high-level object-oriented and secure programming language. Now I'll ask why it is called object-oriented programming language. So the programming language is divided into two parts: object-oriented and object-based. So what is object-oriented programming? First, we'll discuss about it. So object-oriented programming language is a model which is some principles like abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism, which makes the code reusable, fast, and secure, and is also used for designing programs using classes and objects. We'll not go very deep into OOPS principle because we will discuss about it in the later part, like in classes and objects. So now you will ask me why it is called secure programming language. Uh, there is a principle named encapsulation. What encapsulation does is wrapping up the whole code inside a class, so that what happens that nobody means outside the file nobody can access the code, so it makes it secure. Now you're asking what is object based programming language. Object based programming language doesn't support all object oriented principles, like if it support abstraction encapsulation, it will not support inheritance polymorphism like you have seen in JavaScript. And and it has built-in objects like if someone has used JavaScript, they will know that there is a object named window object. So in object based there are some predefined objects that are present in the programming language, but in Java there is no such predefined objects like a window object. Here we have to build from the scratch using those principles of OOPS, all the principle of OOPS. So this was all about object oriented and object based programming language. So next we'll know about the history of Java. So
Kalinga, your voice is muted.
hello, I'm audible.
Yes, it is visible.
Audible also, right?
Yes, yes.
See, everyone, please take care. In the lobby, if you press mute all, everyone gets muted. So try not to do that. The presenter will
Yes,
also
yes,
get
yes.
muted. Don't do
Yeah.
that.
Uh, up to how much I was audible?
Just started the history of Java.
Okay, okay, fine. So first we'll know the history. Now we'll know the history of Java. So Java was developed by Sun Microsystems in the year 1995, and the father of Java is James Gosling. The name of Java was previously named. It was named previously as C Sharp, and
Kalinga is facing some kind of technical issues, I guess.
Oh, I'm getting kicked out or what? Or someone is kicking me out. Hello? Hello? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible.
Guys, please, uh, let's not do.
The I guess the admin can do this. Someone is just messing up with settings, I guess. Okay, I'm busy. I'm just sharing the screen. Wait. Okay, is the screen visible? Hello, hello.
Yes, you're audible.
Actually, please
See,
change the
guys,
privacy settings. Someone is
see,
muting me again and
see,
again.
guys.
And
If you keep doing this such unparliamentary acts, if you keep kicking out the presenter, if you keep muting the presenter, we won't be able to go forward with this
uh,
meeting.
the organizer can disable it, I guess. Please tell Aditya or someone else to just disable this because it's creating a problem. Someone is muting me again and again, and someone is kicking me out. Okay, okay. I'm sharing this screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
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 Okay. So we'll just start from history of Java again. So Java was developed by Sun Microsystem, which is now the subsidiary of Oracle in the year 1995. The father of Java is James Gosling. The name of Java was previously it was named as Oak. Um and you must be thinking why it was dropped, why the name was not given as Oak, because our company was already registered in that name. So they dropped the idea and they kept the name as Java. While thinking of the name, actually James Gosling was having a coffee and he just thought about the origination of the coffee, and it was from Java Island, that is in Indonesia. So he named it after it. After it. So Java was actually designed for interactive televisions, and for set-top boxes, but it was very much advanced technology at that time. So they thought it was best suited for internet programming language. So they continue with it. So next we'll talk about the applications of Java. Java, now according to Sun Microsystem, 3 billion devices are currently running using Java. There are many devices where Java is currently used, mm, and and the applications of Java in desktop applications. We can use Java for creating desktop applications, web applications. Um, Example of desktop applications are Acrobat Reader or Media Player, and web applications we can also use Java to build the application. And For enterprise applications, we can also use Java, such as banking applications. For mobile application, we can also use embedded systems, um, which is used in microcontrollers, and smart cards, robotics, and games. As you know, Minecraft, it is fully built using Java. So next, the features of Java. Uh, Java is portable, simple, and secure programming language. As I told you before, why it is secure? Because it uses the principle of OOPS, and I told about encapsulation. So it uses that to make the core language. So there are some features we can see in the picture, like object oriented, simple, secure, platform independent, robust, portable architecture. We will tell you about platform independent on the later part, after explaining about the JVM. Uh, this is the features of Java, and we will not go very deep into it because we'll be into coding stuffs, not to be in development stuff. So we will not go very much deep into it. So next, we will be talking about JDK.
Kalinga, please unmute yourself. You are muted.
Hello.
Yes, you're audible.
Again, someone is muting me. Okay. Mm, am I audible? Hello.
So,
Yes, you're
So
audible.
okay, okay, okay. So up to how much you're audible? Like features of Java, you heard about what I told?
Yes, this was done.
Yeah.
JDK was about.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine. So JDK stands for Java Development Kit, and it's
Unmute again, Kalinga.
someone is muting me. Please tell the organizer to disable the private, means disable this thing, because I'm facing the problem again and again. I will not be able to teach actually.
guys, whoever is doing this, let's not do that for a smooth conversation.
I'm getting muted again and again. What should I do?
Kalinga, please continue with the presentation. We'll take care of it.
Okay, okay, okay. Fine.
Unmute, Kalinga.
I guess I will not be able to also present this. Okay. So JDK stands for Java Development Kit, and it is used to develop applications in Java. And there are in it, you can think it as a software which it has interpreter, compiler, and also it has JVM and JRE as well. So next we're talking about uh, as you can see in this picture, inside the JDK there is JRE, which is JVM, and the library set of libraries. Also, it has some development tools like Java compiler, Java C, which is so. Let's move to JRE. What is JRE? I will tell you. So JRE stands for Java Runtime Environment. It's also written as Java RT. So it is a software package that provides Java class libraries, JVM, and other components that are required to run the Java application. Uh, for example, if someone have used Java before and we need to import some libraries like util libraries for scanner class or something else. So for that we need actually JRE for it. It is stored in JRE, and for JVM we will talk about it now. And let's talk about JVM. Why it is so required in our Java in Java? Why it is so required? So JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine, and it's actually a abstract machine because it doesn't physically it is not physically available. What it does, it enables the computer to run the Java program. So when we run the Java program, so what it does that it compiles the byte code to the machine understandable form. So it helps the so it is the main part why we call Java as the platform independent programming language. That's why we call it as platform independent programming language. So what it does, it loads the code, it verifies the code, it executes the code, and provides the runtime environment. So now we have why it is called platform independent. So as I told you before, Java in the JVM plays a key role here, which converts the which converts the byte code to the machine understandable form. So how it basically works is when we just run the code, the Java code. Okay. So when we are when we are running the Java code, so what happens is that Java code gets converted into byte code, which is stored in a file named file that has extension dot class. Okay. So what happens that dot class file, what JVM does is uh, that interprets that dot class file and just convert it into machine understandable form. As we know, machines only understand 0 or 1. So platform dependent, as you can see here, it is written software based and hardware based. Here, Java actually is software based, and other programming language like C++, they are hardware based because they use hardware specifications to run the program actually. So here, if we have the JVM installed in our system or in any other system, we can just run any program in our system. So if we tell why now Java is independent means platform independent, but JVM is platform dependent. Why? So in JVM, as you know, it's a software, right? So when you install a software, you have different versions for different softwares for different OS. Like for my Mac OS, it has a different software, and for Windows, it has a different software. So once it gets installed, after that, if you write a code on Mac and then you run on also Windows, it will work. So that's why it is called platform independent because uh, once the JVM is inside your machine, that means you can run anything means from any computer you can or from any OS you can also bring the code and run in your system, which doesn't depends on OS also. So only JVM, once JVM gets installed, then you can run any Java program from any machine. So that's why it is called platform independent. And next, now I will show you about how to install JDK in your system. So now I will open my virtual machine. Wait. Is it visible? Is
Yeah, it's
my
visible.
okay? Okay. So now we will search about um, JDK. So as you can see, the first link is coming, Java downloads Oracle. Then we will download this Java SE development kit, Java development kit 18.02. This one will download. According to my, yes, it's my Windows machine, so I will download Windows. So installer I will download. Okay. Okay. It will get installed in some minutes. So now we'll install the JDK. You just press the next, and it will install. Will get installed. Now it's successfully installed. Now what you have to do is just open edit environment variables. Just type on the start button. And you can search about it. Edit environment variables. Just click on it, and then just open the path, and then go to C drive, and then program files. Now you can see here. Uh, and I can see there is a folder named Java, and here our JDK is present. So we'll open it, and we'll open the bin folder. Then we'll copy the path, and then click on new. We'll just paste it. Beforehand, I have already done, so it is already showing here. You can delete it also. So now press OK. OK. So if you go to command prompt now, and you will just type Java space and then hyphen version. It will show you. Yeah, see, it's showing Java version 18.0.2.1. So this is how I installed JDK. And if you'll ask me why we used environment variables, so that if any software used JDK, so that it can access directly from the path. So that's why we use that's why we are setting it up in edit environment variables, the path. So that's why we did. So now Milind will be telling you about the other stuffs like how to install Eclipse, and what is variables and all. He will be explaining you now.
Yeah, hello everyone. So now Kalinga taught us how to install Java. Now that we have installed Java, we are sorted and we can start our coding. Now the thing is, when you have installed your Java, now you need a tool where you can write your program, be it Notepad or any specific tool for writing the code. There is a thing called IDE. What IDE does all the jobs which you'll have to manually do if you write your code in a normal text editor like Notepad. IDE can run the program for you, can show the output then and there. You can use it to debug your program. You can use it to refactor. It makes your code look beautiful. So we should use an IDE. Now, Here in this session, we'll be using the IDE called Eclipse. It is one of the most widely used IDEs for Java. So to install Eclipse, what you need to do is you just need to either you can search Eclipse and go to the top link, whatever comes on your web page, or you can go to eclipse.org. When you go to eclipse.org, you will see a page, the home page of Eclipse. It will be visible. You'll have a download icon there. If you click on download, on the next page, you'll be shown whatever your Windows bit size is, whether it's 64-bit operating system or 32-bit, depending on your operating system. You need to download the Eclipse. So in my case, it was 64. So just download the exe file. After downloading the exe file, you just need to run that file. You don't need to do much. When you open that installer, just select that you need to install your Eclipse for Java developers. Here you can see there are multiple options. You can either install Eclipse for Java or for enterprise Java or for C, C++ or multiple different languages, but you need to install it for Java for our case. When you click on that, just click on install next, and the installer will do everything for you. Now, after it has installed, you need to click on launch. Once you click on launch, the Eclipse IDE will ask you to set a workspace. Now, what a workspace is where you'll store or all your projects or your all your files related to projects. Everything will be stored in a workspace. You need to set a workspace. Without setting a workspace, you cannot open Eclipse. So after launching a workspace, you will get a welcome screen. So in this case, let's say I'll make a new workspace. I'll just go and I'll make a new folder. Is my screen visible? I hope it's visible, this folder thing.
Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, so I just made a new workspace called GDSC coding session. I'll launch it. Now, once you do that, Eclipse will restart itself because you changed the workspace. Eclipse always selects a workspace first, and then you can do anything else, whatever you want to do. Now, once you are on this page, now we need to create a new Java project. So you just click on this create a new Java project. Once you click on this, Eclipse will ask you what's the name of your projects. Let's for the trial basis, I'll name it trial, and just click on finish. After naming your project, you can name it whatever you want, and then click on finish. When you click finish, it asks you, do you want to create a module, and what's the name of that module? Right now, we don't need to create a module. Later, when we need, we'll talk about that. Right now, we don't need any module. So we'll just click on don't create. So now what Eclipse did is, now you have a project called Java. Now you just open the tree menu of this trial, and then go to this source folder. This src stands for source. All your .java files will be stored here. Right click on this src, go on new, and then click on class. We need to create a new class for our project. Now remember, the name of your public class should be the name of your file. Whatever class which includes your main method, that name should be the name of your Java file. So in this case, I'll name it, let's say hello. So the name of my class is hello. Now I'll click, and one more thing we need to do is we need to check this public static void main strings thing. What this does is it will automatically give you a predefined set of lines whenever you create a class. So you don't need to every time define the main function or the main method. It will automatically give you the main method. Now when you click finish, here we see a new Java class has been created, and the name of the class is hello, and you can see the name of the file is also hello. These both need to be same. The class containing the main method and the file name should be same. If they are different, you won't be able to run. This is how you install Eclipse and you create a new Java project. Let's say you want to create one more project, you just go to file, you just go to new and do Java project and then repeat the steps again. You'll be able to create another Java project. Or if you want to add another class, see this is called a package. This trial package is automatically created by Eclipse. I did not anywhere specifically mention that I want to create a package called trial. So just right click on this package and then go to new and class. Again, whatever class you want, you can create another class. We don't need to do that here. Now what we have next after installing and creating a file, we'll start with the basics of the language Java. So first we'll start with variables. What are variables? Now, variables are containers which will use to store any kind of value, be it any integer or any string, words, sentences, paragraph. We don't care. We use a thing called variable to store everything which we want. Anything and everything which you want to store will be stored in some form of variable. Now, there are different examples of variable, different types of variable. It can be string. Now, string stores text like words. It can store words. It can store individual characters, but mainly we use strings to store words and sentences. Now, another example is int. What int does is it stores whole numbers. So it can be positive, negative, zero. All the whole numbers are stored in the data type called int. A float, what float does, it stores the decimal values. What ints lacks, float does it. Int cannot store decimal value. You cannot store 1.5 in int. You can only store 1. But if you want to store 1.5, you need to use float or double variable. We'll talk about double later. Character, this char stands for character. It's self-explanatory. It stores individual characters, A, B, C, D, any character. It can be capital, small, all the special characters, everything comes under this char variable. Now, Boolean is a special data type which can only store two values. It's either true or false. In case of Java, we can either make it true or false. In some languages, we can store it as 0 or 1. 0 stands for false and 1 stands for true. So Boolean can either be true or false. Now, we talked about variables and different types of variables. What differentiates one variable from the another is the data type. What is the data type of a particular variable? Let's say we name a variable called x. And if we store a character in that variable, that's a char data typed variable. If we store integer in that variable, it's a int data typed variable. So we have different data types. Now, data types can be broadly classified into two types, primitive and non-primitive. Primitive are the basic data types, the foundational data types like Boolean, char, byte, short, int, long. Boolean is true or false, char is ABCD. Byte stores numbers, short stores numbers, int stores numbers, long stores numbers. All are whole numbers. Float and double stores decimal numbers. Now, non-primitive data types are data types which use the primitive data types to store some complex data. So non-primitive data type will make use of primitive data type, and then we can store complex data using non-primitive data types. Now, what primitive data, and again, primitive data type can be divided into two parts, the Boolean thing and the numeric thing. Boolean, as I said, can only store true or false. It's a special data type. It's not, you cannot store any random value. It's either true or false. Numeric data types can store any data type. I mean, any value in it. Their range is way broader than Boolean. Now, numeric consists of either character or integer. Now, character, as I said, is ABCD or special characters or numbers. You can store individual numbers as characters. The integer is divided into byte, short, int, long. These all stores integers. The only difference is the range. The range of byte is smaller than the range of short, which in turn is smaller than int, which in turn is smaller than long. So the range of long is the largest and range of byte is the smallest. Yeah. Now the floating point, as I said, stores decimal values. The difference between float and double is again the range. There's not much difference between them. And the non-primitive data type consists of strings, arrays, classes, interfaces. Now what string does is it stores, you can call it as a series of consecutive characters, but it is not exactly series of consecutive characters. For storing a series of consecutive characters, you'll need n number of char variables. We don't want to do that. If we use a string variable, we can store consecutive characters in one variable only. That's what string does. Now, what an array does is it stores consecutive variables of same data type. Let's say I want to store 10 integers. So instead of declaring 10 individual int variables, let's say x, y, z, a, b, c, d, 10 variables, we'll just declare one variable and we can call it array of size 10. That will store 10 integer values in just one variable. Now, moving forward, here we can see the range of those data types, which I was saying. As you can see, the byte is the shortest. It stores whole numbers, same as short, int, or long, but the range of byte is quite short. It can store from negative 128 to positive 127 only. If you try to store, let's say 115 byte, it won't store exactly 150. There is a thing uh, in which if your value crosses the range, it will go back to the negative side, and it's a complicated stuff. We'll talk about it later. And the byte stores only from negative 128 to 127 positive. Short stores from minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. Similarly, in stores from negative of 2 raised 31 to positive 2 raised 31 minus 1. Now, where is this coming from? You see, this size is given in bits. What this does is you have 32 bits of memory locations. So in binary numbers, you can store 32 bits in int. If you convert any integer value into binary value, you you can maximum store 32 bits of information. Now, what's the range of those 32? Minus 2 power raised 31 to positive 2 power raised 31 minus 1. Similarly, long stores 64 bits. What float does is float does store decimal values. Int and long cannot store decimal values, but float can. A float stores maximum of 32 bits of decimal values. The difference between float and double is the size. Double also stores decimal values, but their its size is just double of float. Now, char stores all the characters. There is a thing called ASCII values, which we'll talk about later. There is a ASCII value related to every character. Char stores all the characters which are present in the ASCII table. The size of an individual character is 16 bits.
Sorry to interrupt, Milind. Due to time constraints, I guess we'll have to wrap up earlier.
Uh, sure. So in the next session, we'll talk about how to declare a variable. We just learn what are the types of variables, what are the data types. In the next session, we'll learn how to declare a variable and how to actually store values in those variables. So I'm looking forward to the next session, and thank you everyone. Have a nice day.
That was an amazing session. For the rapid round, we have dropped a Google Form link in the chat box. I hope the link is visible to everyone.